10 Nights of Dreams. Natsume Soseki. First night. I had a dream like this. As I sat by the pillow with my arms crossed, the woman lying on her back said in a quiet voice, "I am going to die soon." The woman had spread her long hair across the pillow and laid her soft, oval-shaped face within it. A warm blood color subtly flushed beneath her pure white cheeks, and the color of her lips was, of course, red. She did not look at all as if she were about to die. However, the woman clearly stated in her quiet voice, "I am going to die soon." I, too, felt certain that she was going to die. So, looking down at her, I asked, "Is that so? Are you going to die soon?" "I am indeed," the woman said, opening her eyes wide. They were large, moist eyes, and inside the long eyelashes, it was entirely pitch black. Deep within those pitch-black pupils, my own figure floated vividly. I gazed at the luster of those black eyes, which looked so deep they seemed transparent, and wondered if she was really going to die, even so. Then, gently bringing my mouth close to her pillow, I asked again, "You aren't really dying, are you? You'll be all right, won't you?" At this, the woman, keeping her black eyes sleepily wide, replied in the same quiet voice, "But I am going to die. It cannot be helped." "Well then, can you see my face?" I asked intently, and she smiled sweetly, saying, "Can I see it, you ask? Why, it is reflected right there, isn't it?" I fell silent and pulled my face away from the pillow. Crossing my arms, I wondered if she really had to die after all. After a while, the woman spoke again. "When I die, please bury me. Dig a hole with a large pearl oyster shell. Then place a fragment of a fallen star from the heavens as my tombstone. And please wait by the grave, for I will come to see you again." I asked, "When will you come to see me?" "The sun will rise, won't it? Then the sun will set. Then it will rise again, and it will set again, while the red sun falls from east to west. From east to west. Can you wait for me?" I silently nodded. The woman raised her quiet tone a notch and said in a resolute voice, "Please wait for 100 years. For 100 years, please sit by my grave and wait. I will surely come to see you." I simply answered, "I will wait." Then my figure, which had appeared so vividly within her black pupils, softly began to blur. Just like still water moving and disturbing a reflection, it seemed to flow away. And then the woman's eyes snapped shut. Tears spilled from between her long eyelashes onto her cheeks. She was already dead. I then went down to the garden and dug a hole with a pearl oyster shell. The pearl oyster was a large, sharp shell with a smooth edge. Every time I scooped the earth, the moonlight shone on the back of the shell and sparkled. There was also the smell of damp earth. It was not long before the hole was dug. I placed the woman inside it. Then I gently covered her with soft earth from above. Every time I cast the earth, the moonlight shone on the back of the pearl oyster shell. Then I picked up a fallen star fragment and placed it lightly on top of the earth. The star fragment was round. I thought that while it was falling through the vast sky for a long time, its corners must have worn off, making it smooth. As I lifted it and placed it on the earth, my chest and hands grew slightly warm. I sat on the moss. Thinking that I would be waiting here like this for 100 years, I crossed my arms and gazed at the round tombstone. Before long, just as the woman had said, the sun rose from the east. It was a large, red sun. Then again, as the woman had said, it eventually set in the west. It fell heavily, still entirely red. 1, I counted. After a while, the crimson sun sluggishly rose again. Then it silently sank away. 2, I counted again. As I went on counting 1, 2, in this manner, I lost track of how many red suns I had seen. Even though I counted and counted, Countless red suns passed over my head. Yet 100 years still had not come. In the end, gazing at the moss-covered round stone, I began to think that I might have been deceived by the woman. Then from beneath the stone, a green stem grew diagonally toward me. As I watched, it grew longer and stopped just about at my chest. The next moment, at the top of the slender swaying stem, a single long narrow bud that had been slightly tilting its head plumply opened its petals. The pure white lily smelled so sweet right before my nose that it pierced to my bones. Just then, a drop of dew fell from high above, and the flower swayed and moved under its own weight. I leaned my head forward and kissed the white petals, dripping with the cold dew. Just as I pulled my face away from the lily, I involuntarily looked into the distant sky and saw a single morning star twinkling. 100 years had already arrived. I realized for the first time at this moment.